There's a quiet ache you carry. It's not always visible, not always loud, but it's there. A deep-rooted belief that somehow you are too much and not enough. At the exact same time, too emotional, too sensitive, too intense, but also not lovable enough, not interesting enough, not worth sticking around for. And this contradiction, it tears you from the inside. You overthink every message. You rehearse conversations before you speak. You shrink yourself so you don't come off as needy, but hate that people don't see the real you. Where does this come from? Most people learn this paradox in childhood. Maybe you had caregivers who were emotionally unavailable, present in body, but distant in soul. Maybe you learned that expressing your needs brought punishment, silence, or guilt. So you began to carry your feelings in silence, believing they were a burden. You became hyper-aware of how others felt. You learned to shapeshift, to be liked, accepted, invisible if needed. And that skill? It helped you survive. But now, as an adult, it's the very thing that keeps you from being truly seen. You crave connection. But when someone gets too close, you panic. When they pull away, you blame yourself. You say, "I'm just too much," or worse, "I'm not enough to stay for." But here's the truth. You were never too much, and you were never not enough. You were simply around people who couldn't meet you where you were, people who didn't know how to hold what you carried. And that was never your fault. Healing begins slowly. It starts by noticing the voice in your head, the one that says, "Don't speak up, don't feel too strongly, don't get attached." It continues by challenging that voice, gently, consistently, by asking yourself, what if I am allowed to take up space? What if my feelings are valid? What if I don't have to earn love by hiding who I am? You don't need to be less of yourself to be loved. You need to be more of your true self, even if it scares people, even if not everyone stays. Because the ones who can meet you in your depth, they exist. But you'll only find them when you stop abandoning yourself. The world does not need a quieter, duller version of you. It doesn't need you to dilute your light or trim your edges to make others more comfortable. It needs the real you, the one who feels deeply, the one who notices what others miss, the one who dreams a little too wildly, loves a little too hard, and questions things no one else even sees. That version of you, the one you've hidden behind silence, behind perfectionism, behind self-doubt, that's the version the world is starving for. Because you don't inspire people by being flawless. You inspire them by being real, by showing up in your brokenness and your brilliance, and refusing to choose between the two. Somewhere along the way, someone made you believe that your wholeness was a liability, that your emotions were messy, that your honesty made things awkward, that your truth was too much. But maybe they just weren't ready for the kind of freedom you represent. You weren't meant to be understood by everyone. You were meant to resonate with the few who see you and feel seen too. So stop trying to fit into places that ask you to shrink. Stop trying to translate your soul into a language it was never meant to speak. You are not here to impress. You are here to express. Be the one who speaks when it's easier to stay silent. Be the one who opens their heart, even when it's been broken. Be the one who walks away from anything that requires you to abandon yourself. Because the more you soften into who you really are, not who you were told to be, the more life opens in unexpected, beautiful ways. You are not here to survive people's expectations. You are here to become a living truth, So step forward, own your story, and let it be messy, radiant, and real. You were never too much. You were never not enough. You were always, and only ever, exactly what this life needed.
If this made you pause, if you're drawn to deeper truths and quiet strength, then you're in the right place. Like, subscribe, and keep exploring with us. See you in the next one.